Good evening, it's 8 p.m. and it's another edition of Noise from the Boys. This week we're coming live from Sheffield. The reason for that is, but before I tell you the reason for that, I'll just introduce myself, Jockey. There's only three of us tonight. Myself, Jockey, the regular Chris.
Alright.
And regular Tony.
Now then.
And Colin's away working in his second million. The reason we're coming from Sheffield today, we've just got out of bed. We come here at 6 o'clock this morning on the first train out of Lime Street. And the reason is that we're walking from Leppings Lane tonight at midnight all the way back to Anfield, which is going to take us about 36 or 40 hours non-stop with a few rests in between. So that's the reason we're here now, and there's just three of us, of course. We're meeting up with the rest of the team later, and we're setting off at midnight. As I said, we got the train at 6 o'clock this morning. Chris, up bright and early, was you?
Yeah, I was up at 5 this morning. Got my head down early last night. Thought I'd get enough from that. A good bit of resting before tonight, like, but that sleep I just had there, I was tossing and turning really, so I haven't had much rest. So no, it'll be all right. The adrenaline should get us through, and it's all for good cause. So with everyone else there, we'll bat on, yeah.
Lime Street Station, 6 o'clock on a Good Friday bank holiday is an eye-opener, isn't it so?
Yeah, it was like The Walking Dead. There was all kids going back home to their Runcorn or wherever they were going, Manchester.
After the night out.
Just got out to Sunrise or somewhere, Lippy, Mazzy, all over the place. But I got up, they had a different plan on it. We all had our own plans on how to sleep because of we're going walking in 4 hours. I got up earlier. I went to bed earlier, I went to bed at 7 o'clock, and I was up for about 20 past 3 this morning. And it worked well for me because I know to dry off, but we had a laugh on the train, but it was still sinking in. It was weird because we were going somewhere and you're all like in night japes. But you get on the severity of what you're doing when we were talking about it, and then it was back to night japes, and then you were talking about what we were doing, but yeah, got off all right, didn't we, from Lime Street?
Yeah, this thing we're doing tonight, it's not planned to be a downer. It's not for charity or nothing. It's a thank you for everyone who's helped the Justice Course over the years, and we're stopping at the likes of where we stop in Huddersfield, Oldham, Gig Lane, Bury, the Etihad, Goodison. We're arriving at Goodison about 11:15 on Sunday morning. Wigan, we stopping at Wigan. See, I don't even know what we're doing. One of us even ended up in Norwich, didn't he, Chris?
Yeah, we were coming up to, it was Rumble and countryside, and we were thinking, where are we? Are we far from it? We can't be that far anyway. So Tony decides to go to the toilet. I'll have time to go to the toilet, won't I? We said, yeah, I think so. Yeah. And just as we're pulling into Sheffield, Tony decides to lock himself into the toilet. So as we pull into Sheffield, bags, we've got about 15 bags with us.
You'd think I was going to Everest, never mind the Pennines.
Yeah. So, panic stricken, the bags started getting thrown off into the platform, just getting thrown off left, right and centre. So I would understand the carriage to try and find Tony first, toilet, no sign of him. Second toilet, there he is, trundling along the train. But by this time, the guards are sweating, trying to get us off the train. Tony was nearly in Norwich for the next week's game.
For Sunday's game. We'll come to Norwich later.
I think they're throwing a bevy on. I didn't, because where they were at the front of the train had stopped, and where I was at the back was still moving. So I thought, it felt like he was still moving on the bog, and I was only went for a turn. Next minute, there was the clip he was shouting us down the platform, wanting to get off, but it wasn't that heavy.
It was a bit of a panic, wasn't it? We was just getting to Sheffield and same old, innit?
Yes, Jockey.
Well, what do you think I am, Virgin Rail? Inquiries?
No, I asked the Fat Controller where it was.
So, yeah, we've arrived in Sheffield this morning, 8:30, and I'd like to say a great big thanks to a fella called Trevor Braithwaite. He's either the communications manager or the stadium manager at Chef Wednesday. And I called him the other day and asked him if the three of us could have access into the ground. And he phoned me back about 10 minutes later and said, no problem, do what you want. So we got there this morning, and the security guard was a bit more sterner than him and said, you can just go in the Leppings Lane. But we all had our own little reasons for going there. Chris, how does it feel to you?
Well, I went on the Leppens Lane. I was in the North stand, the side of the ground, and I still had my stub with me, which my dad took out, actually. So I wanted to go down and visit the part of the ground where I was sat at, but obviously the security guard, he only wanted to let us into the Leppens Lane due to what's going on with the ongoing inquiry and so on. So that's what he said. But being in the Leppens Lane, it was, it was a bit, how can I say, it wasn't eerie. It was just coming in, and it changed outside, hasn't it? It changed outside a lot to what I can remember. It seems a lot smaller. And just going in and coming through the tunnel and so on, and then finding myself on the Leppens Lane and coming through and then coming into glorious sunshine like it was on the day. It was just, I don't know, it was touching, wasn't it? Touching.
Yeah, we've been moaning this week about whether, at the how big this walk is tonight, 96 miles from here to Anfield, and the enormity of the task we've got in front of us. But when we stood on that Leppens Lane earlier, it all pales into significance, really, didn't it, what we've got in front of us? Walking down that tunnel was pretty surreal, and the slope it's on. As you're walking down it, you're almost like, if you walk down it fast, you're almost turning into a jog to stop yourself, like you're coming down a steep hill, you know what I mean? So, we sat at the front. There's 96 seats at the front. The Leppens Lane's, it's all blue seats, but there's 96 seats left at the front. And the security guard told us that that part of Leppens Lane rarely gets used unless it's a big game. But so, how did you feel about going back?
Pardon me. It was weird outside, and I went back after the 20 years and laid the reef when we come back from Chelsea, and it was weird. I had like a bit of a panic attack. I don't know what it was. I started walking down the tunnel, and it looked like nothing had changed outside, and I got a bit worked up and was still a bit angry then about what was going on. This was pre-inquest, pre-findings. And I had a bit of a panic attack, and the lad who got us the flowers from Sheffield, he helped me out. He grabbed me and got on it. He's a Chef Wed fan, like proper on the ball, and he helped me out, and it was weird. I got the sweat. I was phoning my mum, starting crying and all this. It was like, not into like over elaborating on things, like, because we don't, but it was, I don't know what it was, like, it was just something grabbed hold of me. But this time, I don't know how to put it, I didn't feel as upset as I thought I would. I don't know whether the findings, we've moved on since the findings, and you find a bit of light through them, and you can talk about it a lot better. But we were like, before the findings, I don't think I could have went and the three of us spoke about what we went through that day like that so candidly, do you know what I mean? Yeah. We were like pointing out, here's where we were, here's where this happened. And we were on about, me and Jockey were on about, like, we were on this wall here and we seen this, and we were going, it seems a bit weird. We were on it, weren't we? There was barriers here outside, and barriers had been removed, and we were going, they were ushering us down here. There was a busy horse here off its feet and all this, and it was like, it was a bit scary outside. And then when this security guard told us, he told us, he went, no, things have been moved, like pushed back, and things are still the same, but they're like, what you remember is a totally different, but it's similar, wasn't it? He said, that wall's been removed, this wall's been pushed back. And he said, you would have been here, and he showed us the outline of certain things, and like, we were going through. But when we walked down the tunnel, when you're walking down that tunnel, that's when you get a bit, because until you see the tops of the seats, it's still the same, innit? It's still, you're seeing the pitch. You see the pitch, yeah. You see the pitch, and you don't really get on you don't get that it's seats until you like get a bit down, and then you like, so it was a bit weird seeing all things like that again. And then, I climbed on the pitch, and he said you can't get on the pitch and blah blah. So we was, but I'm not saying it. I'm used to saying it, or something, but it didn't seem as bad upsetting as I thought it would. But it was good. It was good that we went there, like, and went and paid our respects, and it was brilliant seeing the memorial outside that, because there was flags from all over. There was New York Cosmos shirts, and like, I don't know, you know what I mean? There was from all over Europe, Germany. There was Man United scarves. There was every team in the world. It was good that monument, the memorial, was getting respected by fans around the world. They know what it's about.
So that's why we're here today, and I think there's 42 of us setting off at midnight tonight. And as Tony's just said, there was lots of stuff from people from all different clubs from all around the world, and that's why we're here tonight, to say thank you for everyone who supported us. We're going to move on now. We're going to get a bit upbeat. Liverpool, top of the league. Where do we start?
At the top. Things are only go better. Last week, the City game, we weren't like apprehensive, if you know what I mean. We're not cocky, are we? But I've been on to like at home, like we're in the.
Can I
go on.
In there? Me and Chris were shitting ourselves, weren't we?
Yeah, but I was confident, you know, when I was telling you I was confident. I don't know why. I still got this Palace game in my mind. I've had it in my mind for weeks. But going in the game, it was good. Believe me, got there early for the 1906, you know, the coach arrival. And there was a good, like, it was from the King Gary up. And there must have been a good 1,000, 2,000, like, young and old, put it in mind, you know, young kids on shoulders and, like, older fellas, 70-year-old. There was flares, air bombs going off. You know what I mean? It was like, it was good for the players. I'd like to see, we didn't stick around because we fully, but I'd like to see if City come in and got a taste of it. Did the year and see if they'd shit themselves. Because it was good, it was fanatical, it was good, it was something like we're all in it together. But at the game itself, when Liverpool starts off like that, you know, and the copper in full footage, and it was brilliant. I give City a mention here. The minute silence was impeccable, and like City seen a few City putting flowers outside the memorial, outside the flame as well. And City were impeccable. They were spot on to come on the pitch, and you know, we've done our minutes side, 2 minutes silence, whatever, 7 minutes was 13:37, and after that it was electric. The noise, it was like a volcano, and we started off like we always do. We just right at them, put them on the back foot, all over the pitch. Sterling was like a young Johnny Barnes. Everyone was all over. Everyone was up for it. Gerrard was dictating like Rommel, wasn't he? Dictating his tanks all over. You go here, you go, blah blah. And I was made up with the flam. Everything was spot on. Like you'd come to expect now. There's no like hesitancy with us anymore. We're just like, we know what we've got to do, and we're at it, and we get on it. And City didn't know what they were doing. And at second half, we went in 2-0 at half time, and like it's a scary scoreline, but not for me. But people were saying, I know what they mean. At half time, there was fellas like shaking. Seen Phil Tingy, and he was shaking at half time. He was going, oh no, we said I hate it, I can't watch it, I'm staying down here. And I was saying, get up and enjoy it. It's going to be 5-0. Little did I know, 15 minutes later, it's 2-2. And without even applying any pressure, really, I don't know how they got to 2-2. It's like we gifted them 2 goals. They never had to work. They never had to work hard for them. You wouldn't expect us to work hard. It was weird. I don't know, you know. But give us our due. We were on the deck there at 2-2, and it was a boxing match. They would have stopped it. But we got back off the floor, and we delivered the third goal, which is a sign of champions. It's a sign of champions. That's how you win leagues, you know what I mean? Not by what other teams do, by what we do. When we got off that floor, you know, at the end, we were still chasing them lost causes in the last minute. I know it was like a big relief when the final whistle went, but I think that game sums up, we can do this. The players, everyone knows we can do this, and we're doing it for a reason. I'm not saying up too much. We're doing it for the 96, end of. That's why, myself, I think we're doing it.
Christopher?
Yeah, I'd like to go back to 1906. What they set up, the getting the coach coming up to the ground. I think that's a brilliant idea what they set up there. And there must have been at least 2,000 easy, mustn't it? Because it went up to the Shankly Gate, you know, as far as up to the Shankly Gate. You know, they said keep the memorial clear and so on. But it did go up to as far as that. I know, but you know, respects were paid and everything else. But I mean, when that coach went past, and I seen people's faces and myself, I was like a big kid myself, but I was watching people when they went past, and it was like they had the trophy on the coach, and it was electric as they come up, and what the players must have been seeing out the window, and Sterling was filming it, and Coutinho was filming it, everything else. He said, you know, that's only got to be good. That's brilliant what they must have done to come into the ground. But getting back to the match. We started off like we started off every game, these big games since Christmas at Anfield, and just flew right at them. The crowd was right up for it. After the minute silence, as Sonny said, everything was impeccable. But the first half was absolutely, you know, we just went at them. Everything worked out. Everything was brilliant, straight from the off. But it was a game of 2 halves. Come out to second half, and I think they changed, bringing Milner on. That's what saying City's game round, and Milner was brilliant, I thought. And then he started knocking about the box, and there's no one better than City at pinging around that box. Bang, back to 2-2. Then there was only one team in it. I thought City were going to go on to win 3-4-2, you know what I mean? But as Sonny said again, sign of a great team coming back off the floor, mistake of company, and Coutinho finished that goal with some, he put his foot around it and banged that in. It was a screamer. But I was, I couldn't see us getting back into it until then, or until, Torre getting sent off, coming off injured.
No, but like I say, you just said there, like, he made a mistake. I don't think he made a mistake. I think he was forced into that by us, you know what I mean? By the crowd. We'd got in his head by then. He had a nightmare all game. And we got on his head. And it's proved when you get in players' heads like that and the players aren't on the game, later on in the game, that's when their heads go. And his head had gone. He'd been tortured all game. I know, like, you can say Suarez, he built like a brick shit house, and like, if he doesn't score, you're having a nightmare against him. And he'd got in his head, and like at the stage he was saying, he was diving, even them running up to the refs and complaining. He's winning his battle with you, Suarez, because he's got your head up the wall. You're running to the refs to complain about him. He's winning. You can see Suarez with a slight smile up the side of his kipper, going, "I'm in his head. I've got him."
The top man helped us as well, though.
Well, there's a thing going round at the minute, around the city. It's gone viral, this, actually, if I might mention. Right, in the 13th minute, I think it was 14th minute, 13:42.
And his knee went.
Yeah. Yaya Toure has got laid in on the edge of the box, on the edge of the 18-yard box, by Nasri. Now, if you've taped the match, go and watch this. He's laid him in on the edge of the box. He's tried to bend one with his instep. It's bent about 8 yards, but it's coming into the Annie Road, coming to the road end.
Magnificent volley.
And where it's landed at me, I've jumped out like freshwater salmon. I've jumped out my seat. And I've only caught it half whack on the Astor trolley. Bang, it's gone in the air. So there's a cheer because it's gone wide, yay. Then there's a big cheer as I've volleyed it, yay. And my volley's gone up and landed in the back of the net. What happens? As soon as he struck it, he's gone down injured. He's got carried off. So went away, noise from the boys, and especially Caveney had the saying in where this league's going. We changed the game, didn't we?
Watch that. The 30th minute. Getting back to the game, and this was billed by many, mentioned by many, especially the young crowds, as the game of a generation. I mean, some kids are going to say it's the biggest league game they've ever been to. And there was another kid involved there, that's Sterling. The composure he had on the biggest game he's ever had to play in, and it'll be one of the biggest games he will play in probably. His composure in front of the two defenders and the goalkeeper after that brilliant pass from Suarez, it was just out of this world, wasn't it?
Well, Company, up against Company, one of the best defenders in the world, they're saying at the moment, and Joe Hart in goal. He's just sent them one way, just put them both on their arse and just put it in on open net. It was just like playground stuff what he's done. So, as you said, the composure, and then you've got John Flanagan there roaring into tackles like Carragher was in 2005 in his pomp. But, Flanagan's a few years ahead of him, and that tackle he put in the first half, I don't know who it was against. I tell you what, he put him into the paddock, but it was one of the fairest tackles you'll ever see, and he put his name right on it. He took him off, actually. That's who he brought Milner on for. It was
Nasri, didn't he? In front of the paddock about 10 minutes ago, yeah.
No, the first half, where he put that tackle in the first half. I don't know who it was. I can't remember his name, but he took him off and brought Milner on. I don't think he wants to know after that.
Come into the second half.
That's what I'm saying. He brought Milner on the second half. I think that was the player who Flanagan.
Anyway.
No, the tackle was in the first half. One of our mates, Winnie, well, a couple of our mates were in town. Winnie, they ended up in, where was it, the Empire? Yeah. Who did they end up with? Sacco, Flanagan.
Yeah, Sterling. Fowler was in there, a few ex-players.
Coutinho. But there's a notable exception, wasn't it, Chris?
Yeah, it was. Stevie G.
Steven Gerrard wasn't there, was he?
No, he was in. He was tucked up. Early doors.
This because we're coming up to his speech at the, his call to arms at the end and his interview. But from what we know, he didn't go out after the match. He's saving himself to celebrate this for the whole summer. He was on the couch with the kids an hour or two later, wasn't he? On Twitter, apparently.
Well, it was tweeted off his bed. And, a couple of hours later, he is on the couch with the baby, just, you know, so every Evertonian, well, you can
It's by the media.
all right, well, the picture might have been tough last week, might have.
But anyway, he wasn't in the. He's usually in the Empire with Flano, and he wasn't there.
I don't know. I don't know. I think he's concentrating on so. And after that speech, what he gave him, the way the cameras caught it, I know he was in tears and all that, and it was just emotional. I don't think it was just a mix of everything. Where like the media and whatever put it down to like it was down to his, you know, his little cousin who passed away. He carries that every game. He said he goes into every game with that, but I think it was just the emotion of everything. And then he's got them players down. The players didn't like. They just all sort of come to him. No one like it weren't like come here. They just all like it was just all come together, and that's when he just shouted that, you know, this is finished. And what a shout!
He's determined, though, isn't he? He's got to see this thing through, hasn't he, Gerrard?
When you see him like that, what is he, top 1 or 2 players in the world? Isn't he, though, for everything he brings to the table? Like, you know what I mean? He stepped up to the plate, and I had me doubts about him last year, thinking, where's he going to go? My doubts were like in the position he played, but now he's in this new position. Come on, this libero, whatever you want to call it, he's brilliant, and he's gone to a different level, and his leadership skills, the way he's carrying everything, he's got an aura about him where it's like, did we have you like undervalued really? Do you know what I mean? Do you know the way we've took him for granted, haven't we? We haven't. Look what we've had. Look what we've got for another 4 years. This fella can carry on doing that. He's that brilliant. He could just slot into this spec for another 4 years. And people are saying if he wins this league, touch wood, if he wins a Premiership medal, that'll make him a better player. What are you on about? He could win another 4 or 5 Premiership medals here, the way he's playing, the way we're playing.
His performance is 8, 9 out of 10 every week, and that's been like that for the last 10 years.
Talking of leadership qualities, Brendan Rodgers, he's doing something right, isn't he? He's at the Palace game the other night. You were saying earlier on this morning on the train on the way up, you're made up who's at that game.
Yeah, I am. He's not. Like, at first I was thinking, there was all pictures going on the social network of Brendan laughing, and I was like laughing along with it, and then I thought, the serious business, yeah, and no, it was the picture. It was his picture, yeah, it was from the game. Because he had that... Yeah, no, it was at the end, I don't know when but it was that game, because he had the rig out on that he had on, yeah. So, I thought he's there for in a serious mode, really, to do his own work.
Well,
and like,
Everton will, you know, they played Holly songs in there as well before the game. So obviously he's going to be there. Margaret Aspinall and all that was there. So I think he had to be there anyway, didn't he? Apart from spying on Palace.
Yeah,
he was there. Palace are a big threat. You said earlier, Palace have had you worried for a while, and Brendan's keeping an eye on them, isn't he?
Oh yeah, sorry, Brendan. He was there on a serious note, and like it was good when he come out and said like I'm paying attention to these. You know what I mean? And I'm telling my players, blah blah, keep an eye on these. So like, you know, he's been there to say like I'm not just here to like. Just go and watch a game because it is like the Hillsborough Memorial. He's there to do the own work as well. And what happens at Everton is the biggest lesson that we can get. And like, it only bodes well for us that like, you know, don't be going, not like if Everton would have won 4-1, would it have been like, oh, well, you know, Everton won 4-1. There's nothing to worry about with Palace, but it's the other way. And it's like, listen, no games. I know he knows like, we treat every game the same and like you don't underestimate no one, but I was just made up that he was there the next time with what he come out with and said like every team. I was reading this morning papers. He said that these players are fighting, and I was looked at the headline. These players are fighting for the families and the kids and the livelihood. So don't underestimate. And I thought he meant us. You know, like in a way, like Liverpool are fighting for the life. But he means the opposition. It's like they kick up the ass for us. Like this isn't over. And I've seen Divies going we can afford to draw now. You know, when all this bollocks, we want 4 wins. We want to break records. We want to carry on next season and get 34 wins. Do you know what I mean? All this we can afford to draw. We don't want to draw.
He also sent a warning out about the Man City Sunderland game that as same with Palace. You know, these are the games what have got to be won.
Well, look at that now. We come out the ground all made up about Sunderland the other week, and we scraped on. We didn't play too well, and like we were talking about it on the show that like you could hear the relief flooding down from the stands at the end. It was like, look what they've done to City there. We won. That's the difference in us. That's like a notch on our like belt in it. We won. So that's another thing that, like, champions win them games. City, you haven't quite got it up. You haven't quite got it. You're not, like, up to scratch as far as, like, us. We won, you through. There's the difference.
Another thing what I think is a big factor is empty seats. See the empty seats at the Etihad?
At least the man, like I said, Man U, I know the shite and the 7, but that ground's always full. Let's have it right. Look at City, they've got no excuse. No excuse to be empty. What do they want? Let's have it right before Sheikh Mansour come. They never had an history. So, do you know what I mean? Let's have it right. They're only a like small club anyway who've struck lucky with the oil money.
After the City game, imagine us playing Sunderland like that after the game in hands. That crowd, I know what, Wednesday night, Tuesday night, whatever it was, that was being bouncing a night game at Liverpool v Sunderland.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Even the Manchester Evening News, which is their local paper, was doing a story about the Liverpool fans and to take a leaf out of our book if you want to win trophies, if you want to progress in these games.
There's nothing on about you can spend all the money you like on top players, and it's come out today in the paper. The average wage for Man City squad is 100 grand. So the average player's on 100 grand. He said you can spend all the money you like on these top players and wages. He said you cannot buy the atmosphere them Liverpool fans created. He said you couldn't help but be moved by it. And this is a Manchester paper, you know what I mean, commenting on us. He said 2 hours before the game, he said 2.5 hours before the game, they were out in force, setting flares off, and he said, I know we've got a stadium, he said, but this stadium, it can be, he said, if we redevelop it, it can be like a noisy ground. He said, but...
Where? The Etihad?
Yeah, to redevelop
exactly. Why did he want to expand that?
Well, it's only us 38, Tom. So,
but they can't fill it when they're in the title race.
No, but it's for corporates, innit? They said they're going to expand it for corporates, but he's saying, you know, they want to spend the money on recreating that to get, like, play. Look what it does. We are the 12th man. We are the 12th man.
Bricks and mortar doesn't create it. It's there. It's what Shankly built, what creates what we've got today.
Well, the reporter says after Manchester Evening News, he said that it even put me off my work, like trying to do my job. He said, you know, I couldn't concentrate on doing my job. He said it was that, you know, manic.
A bastion of invincibility.
He said the pen behind his ear as he was on his computer was shaking. You know, they don't write anymore, do they?
Right, before we move on to Wanker of the Week, anyone worried about Chelsea?
More worried about Norwich, to be honest, because that's the next game, and I can't think. Yeah,
we're just worried, aren't we?
We're just worried sick, aren't we? We've been worried for weeks and weeks, but Norwich, as Gerard said, forget about City. Norwich is as big as City now, and it is. Don't get away from it. You've got to go and beat Norwich, and you've got to go and do them, put them a few goals past them. 1-0 too, obviously, but get our goals difference as well, because that could come into it along the way. But Norwich for me is the next big hurdle. Big hurdle.
A mate of ours, Paul, the other day bumped into an old school friend, a classmate of his. He bumped into Alex Curran, didn't he? Alex Gerrard. Yeah. And even though he doesn't know Stephen, he asked Alex, he said, how is he? How's he getting on with the league? She said, he's worried.
Yeah.
But she said he's worried like when he's playing a friendly, didn't she?
Yeah, he said he worries, he's just a worrier. He says to Stephen, he said, but as he said, Jock says then, he said he worries the first 7th or wherever, he says, so if he's worried at 7th, only imagine what he's worried about now, but no.
The thing is, though, this is his only crack at it. I think we've gone so far now that if Gerrard doesn't get this medal this season, this trophy, I think it'll finish him.
No, he's got it. It's in the bag. But look, Norwich, you've got 2 words for Norwich. Luis Suarez. In Uruguay, yellow must be like a red rag to a bull or something. Do you know what I mean? Because he just goes berserk. Yeah, when he sees them. But he even tries to play in white. You were saying at Anfield, he still put 3 past them. But I can't, you know what I mean? They're not. I don't know. I can't see nothing. This late in the season for us, I can't see nothing but a win. I can't see us folding. With what we showed last week and what we've been showing, I can't see us folding from the end to the end of the season. Norwich can. You know, they play football. You don't want to try and play football against us because we'll just mangle you.
It's just a new manager syndrome, isn't it? Where you bring a new manager in and that sort of...
Hey, we've put a few of them to bed this season. Yeah. Pellegrini, David Moyes, Jose Mourinho next week, hopefully.
Good job they got Neil Adams as the manager and not Jeremy Goss, because I would have been sweating then. What he done on the last day of the season.
But Norwich are fighting for their lives, so they've got something to play for. So it's not as if they're relaxed and they're safe. They're going to be tense and they're going to be worried about Suarez especially. So they're going to be making mistakes because they're tense and they've got things... survival to play for. I'd rather be playing them than someone who's mid-table and he can knock it about with ease and they've still got the flip-flops on where we're panicking. So it's going to be a good game. The Norwich Liverpool game. It's going to no pushover.
Yeah, well, look, we spoke about it earlier on. You've seen Gerrard at the end of the game. You've seen Brendan. There's not going to be none of this, I'm expecting this. But these are on the ball. These are on the ball 100% with the job at hand and what they've got to do. There's not going to be none of that. I hope we don't slip and I hope we're not. We're on the ball for this game. We know our jobs. We know what we've got to do. They know now the best team in the league. They've got that on board now. They're not thinking we've got a chance at this. These know we're going to win this. They know it. And we're looking at, it's us that are bringing doubt to the table more than the players, I think. Everyone's still I hope we don't fuck up now at the end of the blah, blah. It's not happening. We're doing this.
It's just natural, though, and so, do you know what I mean? Because they haven't been there, and it's just come from, Christmas, really, this run.
Has it though?
Yeah, well, no, it hasn't.
No, we know over the season, no one's had us off.
We've progressed.
We've grown stronger, and no one's given us hidings. We've never, you know what I mean? No one's given us an hiding all season. Yeah, we've only lost 5 all season.
Apart from Lloydie, who goes on record, he said he was going to win the league about 4 games in, which I thought he was off his barnet, to be honest with you. And I still, I still back him up now, but. No, it's just we're that close, yeah, but that far. But
gonna have my mate on your brief again.
No, it's not. I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say then.
Because the negativity took over.
Well, we were going to move on to Norwich after Wanker of the Week, but you two seem to have stitched me up there.
That was our next game, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, Wanker of the Week.
Wanker of the Week. Wanker of the Week. He's the wanker of the week.
Boom. And before we start Wanker of the Week, say a special mention for one of the lad's sons, Keno. He thinks in the Sorry. We've known Keno for years. And he said his lad Kyle, he's 7. He always listens to Noise from the Boys. So big mention out for Kyle there. We surmised that his surname is Kyle Keno. So nice one for listening, Kyle. And Kyle, he's only 7 and his dad Keno reckons... he tells us that his favourite part of Noise from the Boys is Wanker of the Week. So we're really proud of ourselves there. Who else, Joe?
Damien Doyle. We're speaking. I remember I said I met Doyle in Marxies and he said this show, yeah, blah blah. He's like Al Yankee head Doyle, boss Doyle. Anyway, I seen him in the 12th after the game Sunday, and. He said, when I seen you in Marxies, you never mentioned that this is Liverpool, you shit house, and started giving me loads. And I went, no, I wasn't mentioning my own names about that. But Doyley's an avid listener as well.
So who's going to start with Wanker of the Week this week?
Do you know, I was only thinking of one. And I was going to go Arsene Wenger.
What's he done?
Not just talking crap again, money at the weekend. They're just as good as us or something along them lines. His speech when he's been hard lines, he's kind of hard lines, the hard luck story. And then the other one that comes to mind was Esther McVeigh, but it wasn't footy related. I know it doesn't have to be, she's just another...
Well, it is sort of, indirectly. It is.
But she's fit as well, isn't she? So, what do you reckon?
So was Eva Braun. Well, yeah, Esther McVeigh, I think we're going to nominate her for Wanker of the Week because she's sending out tweets, which she's denied it was her. She's saying it was an automated tweet she sent out. And she sent it out given the Wirral Labour Party stick, which she's entitled to do. But a fella, Nicky Campbell, is it? Nicky Campbell tweeted her straight back, "Oh, you're not watching the service." She was out tweeting during while this service was on for Hillsborough. So 10 or 12 of her constituents actually lost family at Hillsborough. And she should show a bit more restraint. But also the Wirral Conservative Party, who she's the leader of, or she represents. They also, while while the service was on, they also made 73 unsolicited phone calls throughout the Wirral, trying to get people on board, phoning people up, cold calling them. And 73 calls they also made while the service was on. So, it's not very nice when the rest of the city and the rest of Merseyside is trying to watch the service, and they're getting these phone calls off the likes of her.
But her apology was weird as well, because she's put where the Labour Party can't be trusted, like having a pop and she's made it out like really regret the mistiming of a local election press release. Like it was an official thing when it's her just having a pop on Twitter early.
Yeah, the only thing she regrets is getting caught out. Yeah. But anyone else for Wanker of the Week this week, Chris? I've got one for you. It's a bit unfair, but Vito Manoni.
Oh, it's scrambling. The hot potato that he let in.
Yeah. The Sunderland keeper. It's a bit unfair. It's a bit unfair calling him Wanker of the Week, because it's actually done us a favour there, but it killed us, didn't it? Oh. Sunderland's nearly won 2-1 there.
Yeah, would have been them out of it. Well, I never thought they were in it after the game. Yeah, well, it did, and being a hard face now. So they're still in it, aren't they, City? But Victor, like I say, Brendan's saying don't worry about anything, I'll just worry about ourselves. So it was a weird day, Wednesday night, wasn't it? Of footy. Yeah, Chris has just come out with a belter there. If you want to, it's a late one again.
No, I was just thinking there, but it's a bit, it's a tragedy that's happened, and it's terrible what's happened. But the captain of that ship that's just gone down. He is tall, isn't he?
The week, isn't he?
But he's jumped ship, and what a fucking horrible man he is.
Well, yeah, but that's way out of our parameters. That's on the other side of the world. Let's stick with this side of the world and things directly involved. Yeah. So this week we're going for a vote.
Yes, I'll vote here.
Abstentions? None. This week, Esther McVeigh is
wanker of the week. Wanker of the week. She's the wanker of the week. Boo!
And that's Esther McVeigh. We're going to tie up shortly. Just like a friend of mine, Jane Stack, has asked me to highlight a charity night that's going on, and it's in aid of an Anfield girl, Lisa Jones, who died suddenly recently, and there's a charity night for her in the Park pub. Just a minute, so in the Park pub on, I think it's the 23rd of May. Now the Park pub is right opposite the Cop, and unfortunately, she's died suddenly of a heart attack, this girl, and she's lived in the shadow of Anfield all her life. And there's a charity night at 7 p.m. in the Park pub, and she's left 8 kids. I'm not sure if she's a single mother, but she's left 8 kids, and 6 of them are still school age, 15 down to the age of 3. Now, there's all kinds of prizes and everything going on there. There's Liverpool merchandise, Everton merchandise, Tranmere merchandise, there's free trips to Snowdon, there's hot yoga, there's all kinds. There's a Facebook page called the Lisa Jones Benefit Night. Now, even if you can't get down, if you go on the Lisa Jones Benefit Night and get in touch with the people who run that, if you want to make a donation, it'd be greatly accepted. But also for this benefit night in the park, there's karaoke and live bands and all that. Tickets are only £2.50. There's raffles, there's all kinds. So visit the Facebook page, Lisa Jones Benefit Night, and see if you can help out. As I say, she's got 8 kids, and Jane's told me that, they haven't got a lot of money. That they're not a rich family, and these 6 of them are at a school age. So please help out if you can. Us at Anfield FM will be trying to help out as well. So thanks for that. Anything else, lads?
No, I was told we were going to mention the party in the 12th man at us. Our little party last week in the 12th man was like an old school, like what we got up 2 years ago, after the match, when you've played well, Liverpool, that arrogance we had back in the 80s, and like it was the norm, and then just go on the ale, and it was good to see like Gary Ferguson and Cal Mouldy was there, one of you making songs up about him, and there was just a good little turnout in there, and just like, anyone who goes to 12th man, you know why I carry on in there, it's like, it's brilliant, and just like, thought I'd give it a little mention.
I like to be old school and call it the Solly still.
Yeah, the Solly, but that's downstairs, we call it the upstairs, the 12th, don't we?
So anyway, predictions for this game, Sunday. I've got to go for 4-1 and a Suarez hat-trick. You've got to.
Yeah, I'll go 2-0 Suarez.
Hopefully we go into this game still top of the league. By the way, Chelsea are playing Sunderland on Saturday, aren't they, Chris? Christopher?
I'm going to go... I think I'll go with Tony 2-0. And there's only going to be one fellow who's going to bang them in, isn't he? I think Sturridge is out. Is he going to be out?
He's doubtful. He'll probably be on the bench.
Yeah, I think he might be out. He might leave him for Chelsea, mightn't he? Resting for Chelsea. So I'll go 2-0. Fingers crossed.
Okay, so it's just coming up to almost 9 o'clock there now. When you're just snuggling up into bed tonight, 11 p.m, 12 p.m, or whatever time, if you've been out on the ale and you're climbing into bed at 4, just think of us when we're walking through the Pennines. We'll be setting off at 12 o'clock. We'll be giving updates on our Facebook page. Tony?
I'm just saying, if people are out and about, I think we put a time limit on 10 o'clock Sunday morning between 10 and 12, arriving back in Liverpool.
We'll be at the showcase for 10.
Yeah, so if you want to get out and greet, not just us, everyone who's doing it, like if you want to get out and greet us, it's a thank you for yous, so get out on the street and give us a little clap and we'll see you there. And
if you've got a cold bottle of Peroni in your fridge, bring that with you as well. So, Liverpool, Sunday, Norwich, let's hope we're top of the league, lads. Up the Reds!
Up the Reds!